Okay. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the 16th episode of the Atlas Society Asks. Today I am so excited to be joined by my friend Terrance Wren.
Hey, how's it going?
It's so great. It's wonderful to see you. I mean, I've known this guy for like 5 months now, and we've always had a one-way screen when I've been watching him, but now we're trying to take the opportunity to share a bit of Terrence's wisdom and with you and introduce him. I want to apologize in advance. We've had a glitch with Facebook, so we're on our Zoom, and we will definitely be posting this to Facebook. Won't be live, but we're just going to do our best. So if you are joining us on Zoom, type your questions in to the Q&A box, and we will get to as many of them as possible. So Terrance is a very popular, very prolific TikTok commentator and entrepreneur. He's the father of 4 from East St. Louis, Illinois. He wanted to push back against a lot of the negativity that and hatred that we've been experiencing with a very simple but very powerful message. I love everyone, no matter your color, shape, or size. He started We Are Human clothing line to support his live United Barbecue events, and I'm excited that we're going to be able to sponsor one of those coming up the day after the gala, October 15th in Los Angeles. It brings people of all different backgrounds and races together. Terrance is also going to be a featured guest at the Atlas Society Gala, which is happening live on October 14th at the Calamigos Ranch in Malibu. So, and then Terrance also frequently has been incorporating some of the ideas of the Atlas Society into his social media accounts, and that's been just totally joy to my heart. So, Terrance, welcome again. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. How you doing? Hey.
You probably don't know to call me Jen Anju Grossman, which is my TikTok handle, or Jag, or whatever, but you can call me Jag. So Terrance, you know, one of my favorite interviews with Ayn Rand was the famous Mike Wallace interview, where he just started out by saying, "Who are you, Ayn Rand?" You know, so I just would like to say, who are you, Terrance? Tell us a little bit about where you were born, how you got started, a little bit about the incredible odyssey that brought you to be here with us today.
Well, I'm from East St. Louis, Illinois, and I spent a lot of my life in St. Paul, Minnesota, and Duluth, Minnesota, due to the fact that I was raised in foster homes from the age 12 to 17. So bouncing back and forth through foster care, I learned how to get along with different individuals and adapt in different places in life without just learning the same things over and over or seeing just the same things over and over. I was able to see more of the world and more people. I was able to get more enlightenment on different cultures in the world instead of just knowing my own culture. And I got in a lot of trouble as a teenager, and as a youngin', I kept going to jail, went to prison. From the moment that I went to prison, that's when I understood that I no longer wanted to let somebody else control my life. And what I meant by that is I'm no longer going to let somebody else control my emotions. I am going to be in control of my own emotions. So anytime if somebody came to me with negative energy or anything that can allow me to lose my freedom and or have a negative consequence with me reacting to it, I just choose not to react to it and just stay positive. At any time ever. Sometimes it's hard to stay positive, but I just decided I didn't want to get in no trouble no more. So then when the George Floyd riots happened, I was watching a lot of live videos of the riots going on, and I just started crying, and I started praying to God for a couple of hours, asking him to come help us, and that we needed some help because we was headed towards hate and destruction in our country or even in the world. And you know, for days I cried, and suddenly I did a video on TikTok, and that video went viral, and then I did another video, and that video took off. But I wasn't doing them to get any attention. I was just doing them because that was on my heart and that was on my mind, and something told me it needed to be said. So my purpose now, which is basically to bring people together, unite us all together, that we're not colors, we're all was created as humans, and that's how God intended us to live. And as humans, we're supposed to love each other and not hate each other or try to divide each other in any way.
So I remember you first came across, I don't know how, but you came up on my For You page, and you had this terrible thing that had just happened to you. Somebody had come and vandalized your new tires in your car. And it was just so shocking that somebody had knifed your tires. And I was like, oh, I mean, wow, whatever struggle bus I was going on at the time, I was like, there's a lot of people who are dealing with much bigger challenges than I am. And then I just started watching you, and I was seeing you, your videos, your lives. I learned about the United Barbecue. I learned about We Are Human, and which you started in order to support these live events.
Yes.
But so tell us a little bit about We Are Human. How did that get off the ground?
We Are Human. It just was, you know, I was going through a lot of comment sections on Facebook, on TikTok, and watching a lot of videos, and it was just a lot of people just going back and forth with the black and with the white and with just different colors all the time and arguing with each other. And then there was people that was BLM and ALM, and I just seen that everything that was speaking at the moment was just creating more of a divide between each other, more of a clash. So, you know, I just was like, hey, I need to create a logo that just stands for everybody together, something that everybody can get behind, and everybody can go forward without trying to clash with each other and divide with each other. They can learn how to communicate with each other and settle our differences rather than clashing with each other. So I came up with the logo. I messaged a guy, One Day Graphics, and he brought the logo to life from my ideas. And I was like, oh man, I love it. I put it up on TikTok. Everybody started asking me to do shirts. And the more I was doing lives and talking to everybody about how we need to spread love, I don't like looking at the problems. So I like, you know, we all know what problems exist. So since we know what problems exist, there's no need to constantly talk about the problems because you'll never get to the solution. So I like thinking of the solution. So every time I got on live, I'd have a different idea of a way that we could spread love and unity with each other. And one day we just came out with the United Barbecue ideal, and everybody was like, yes, that's the idea right there, bro. Do that. And from there on, I just started doing United Barbecue for everybody to come out for free and enjoy themselves and get to learn about each other's cultures and just come out and spread love and unity with each other and know each other's are humans and not as a color. Because, you know, when we keep knowing each other as a color, that's going to keep us thinking of each other as a difference and making people feel like one person might feel like they're better than the other when neither one of us is better than each other. We're all the same, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what Ayn Rand talked about when she described racism as the crudest form of collectivism. And she just continually stressed the importance of thinking of ourselves as individuals and treating others as individuals rather than, you know, based on other factors which aren't really relevant for having, doing business, you know, studying, having normal human interactions. So Terrance, tell us about the logo, the one that you have on right now.
Oh, this logo right here is the American flag, the Mexican flag, and the African flag all united together. The reason why I chose the three is because those are the three that seem to clash the most. So they seem to always keep a clash. And I feel like if we could unite the three together, that everybody else would be able to unite smoothly and easily with everybody. I just feel like we are the ones that's supposed to put our feet forward strongly together as a whole to be able to have everybody else in the world to follow behind us. As everybody's saying with the George Floyd riots, if hate can spread across the world that fast like a wildfire and have everybody acting that way, imagine if we started a wildfire of love and positivity here in America. We are the leading country, so everybody's gonna follow suit with us. So if we're loving each other, we're getting along with each other, we're not battling or hating each other, everybody else in other countries will follow suit. Everybody else will say, well, hey, look at America. They're really united. They're really what they stand for. They're really the United States and sticking together and banding together. They're no longer fighting and hating against each other because somebody might be a little bit different than the other person. As well as if we end the fact that we hate each other or anybody hating each other, it can end bullying at the same time, because people bully each other because they think of each other as a little bit different. Somebody might have on less fortunate shoes than the next person, and they want to bully them for them shoes. But and suicide, a lot of suicide be solved with spreading love and unity. Nobody have to feel alone in on this earth. There's billions of people on this earth. Why should anybody have to feel alone, or why should anybody have to feel like they don't have anybody to go to talk to? If we were able to take 5 minutes out of our day, and let people know, hey, look, if you're having an issue, don't be afraid to come to me instead of thinking of me a stranger danger. Somebody that might be stressing and on their way towards the bridge might just stop to somebody and say, hey, do you have 5 minutes that I could just talk to you? And that person's life could have been saved if they felt like they were able to approach somebody and not feel like they were going to be a stranger to that person, or that person might find them weird or different, or might brush past them like, no, I don't have no time to talk to you. I don't know you. We need to start thinking of each other as we know each and every last one of each other. We just have to know more about each other. So we all know each other because we're human. So just like you breathe, I know how you breathe. I know how you eat. I know how you sleep. I might not know the different positions that you're in. I might not know how you hold your fork, but I know that you need these things to be able to continue on with your life. I know that you read. I know that you write. These are things that I know about you. So therefore, everything else that I don't know, I need to take the time to learn about you. Even with the statistics that they put up on the news or that they put up anywhere on charts that people can read. You will never see a chart about positivity. So you'll never see a chart that's saying, hey, this many people are doing this many positive things and this many people is doing this or that. So therefore, people can't stereotype each other in a positive way and say, hey, this might be a person that's out doing some positive things instead of this might be a person that's out doing negative things.
So you also stressed with these events, the United Barbecue events, that, because there's this interesting combination that you've got a massive following online. And if people, Terrance, you want to tell your handle on TikTok and Instagram?
Oh, my TikTok is Terrance, Terrance, the letter CGBB, and last name Wren, WREN, and that's on my Facebook and my TikTok. And my Facebook and my Instagram and my YouTube, you can find those through my TikTok and Facebook as well.
And people, you can also find them if you go to the Atlas Society site, if you go to our events section, the event that we have for the United Barbecue coming up in Los Angeles on the 15th, right the day after the gala. We also have his handle in there, so you can find that out. So, but Terrance, why? I mean, you could just say, hey, listen, I'm from TikTok famous. I'm good at this. I know how to do this. I'm doing good just by doing this. Why did you really emphasize? Why have you just been saying, and you're driving around the country, I might add,
yeah,
to do this. He's going to be driving out to Malibu, people. Okay. So he and Mel, I don't know if you guys are taking the kids or what, but.
To Florida, yes, they're coming to Florida with us. Yes.
Okay, because you just had a new baby, right? In the midst of all this.
Yes, we just had a new baby, but I just look at it as if the hate never stops spreading, the negativity never stops spreading. So why should we stop spreading love and positivity? Love and positivity is not the cool things on the planet to do. Negativity seems like to be the coolest thing for everybody to do right now, whether they're cheating on your girlfriends or boyfriends, or whether they're out stealing from somebody. It seems like negativity is the coolest thing to do right now. And we need to stop letting that be the thing to be in. And we need to be pushing forward to let positivity and love take effect. Nobody that's out spreading negativity is worried about the COVID right now. So they're not worried about going outside and catching COVID. They're not worried about that. So if we sit in the house with all our positivity and we're loving each other, and we don't go out there and show the world, hey, look, we can get along and unite with each other and love each other, we can end up destroying our own country. So we can end up watching our own family members perish right in front of our face. We could end up watching our kids be an innocent bystander and everything. So I don't think people really are thinking about the consequences of spreading negativity. If negativity takes 51% of our country, that means negativity is a majority. Now you have a better chance of walking outside your house and seeing something negative happen rather than going outside your house and seeing something positive happen. I'd rather go outside and see somebody helping somebody than to go outside and see somebody beating up somebody. That's the cool thing to me. When we was growing up, we used to go to grocery stores and we'll help the elderly with their bags of groceries, whether we'll help them bag it up or help them bring it to their car. But we were always kind. We was always taught to respect our elders. And the kids these days, they drive so much off of negative energy. They have nothing. It seems like they don't have anything positive in their life to hold on to. It seems like that hope is gone in a lot of our young. So without them having hope, and they can't get that hope back without positivity being spread. So that's where the barbecues come in. And people need an inspiration right now. People need an inspiration. And driving around the country to spread love and unity, I think that could be an inspiration for everybody. Like, I mean, you know, people could just, even if they have to watch love on the video, I bet you they miss out every time that they see a United Barbecue on a video and they say, man, I should have been there. Because they know they should have been there.
It's so true. And you have been an inspiration to me, you know, and it's so raw. It's so real. It's like so happening right now. Oh, I like your mug, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I like my Iron Red. I love my Iron Red cup. This is my Iron Red coffee cup, everybody. I love this cup. This cup the Atlas Society sent this to me as a gift, you know, because I like some of the stuff and be using it. I like when Iron Rand talks about being grateful. That's my favorite part of when she be teaching, is about being grateful, because being grateful is a great part of being happy every day. You can drive yourself insane always being mad about what you don't have, or always being upset about what you don't have. You can go crazy constantly wanting things.
So Terrance, we have some other questions here. So again, apologies for not having the whole Facebook situation sorted, which just goes to show that we keep on learning. And so Vicky has a question. She wants to know, is there anyone in particular that influenced you when you were growing up, when you were in and out of foster homes, the time in prison? Like, if you think back, like this person, if that person hadn't come into my life, maybe.
For foster care, I believe if I wouldn't have came into contact with Kathy Tate and Sue Brenning, there was plenty of people, but Kathy Tate and Sue Brenning, those were my therapists and psychologists. And they introduced me to Dave Peltzer. Dave Peltzer wrote the books, A Child Called Ed, A Lost Boy, A Man Named Dave. And when I read those books, that's when I really started, you know, not really, like, I still complained about foster care, and I still, you know, cried about foster care and, you know, about my family and stuff. But it made me realize that there was other people that went through things in this world that I never had to go through, and they had it worse than I had it. And, you know, he kept going in his life. He didn't allow it to stop his life at all. He became a Nobel Peace Prize winner. So, you know what I mean? That played a major effect in my life, as well as Martin Luther King Jr., a wonderful, wonderful role model in my life. Just reading his autobiographies and reading about him and watching videos on Martin Luther King Jr. Because of course I wasn't here when, you know, he was doing the civil rights movement, but I definitely kept his teachings with me. So he was one of my biggest idols that helped me in life. And Will Smith was definitely one of mine too, because he was pretty much one of the only people I can listen to with their music, because he wasn't being all, he didn't have a lot of parental advisory in his music. He didn't have any at all. So growing up in the foster homes that I grew up in, they didn't allow you to listen to parental advisory music. So I had to choose Will Smith because he got jiggy with it, I guess.
Well, speaking of music, so you've created music as well.
Yes. Oh, yes. I do music. I do music, but I really don't take it too much serious right now. Like I have released a song about unity, because I just feel like everybody needs to unite with each other and just know that we are the same. I did a song about a positivity song about just avoiding negativity and stuff. But music really isn't my passion right now, or my drive. Like, I put my whole entire life on hold to push We Are Human and to push this unity and love, because I feel like that's the most important things. I mean, my children won't have a future if we don't have love and unity. My kids will not get a chance to have a future. They will not see that chance. So I feel like it's most important for me to put my life on hold to be able to prepare things for them. As I tell people all the time, it's our generation that's to prepare the next generation. So if we don't have things prepared for the next generation, it's only going to get worse. And then when we leave this earth, none of us want to look down on this earth or look up on this earth and see, things the worst. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, and I find a lot of resonance with what you talk about in terms of We Are Human and the positivity. To me, our founder, David Kelly, he's a Princeton-trained philosopher, and he really evolved Objectivism in a way to elevate benevolence as a major virtue. And it's something that I think people can sometimes see as odds, or well, how does that fit in with rational self-interest? But the way he explains it is that if you need to be an entrepreneur in your own life, right? And that you are going to treat other individuals as potential partners, right? That you never know where it could go. And so that, even though you may not have experience with them yet to know what their virtues or what kinds of abilities that they have, but unless you treat them like, well, they could be somebody that I could do business with. They could be, somebody that we'd have something going on with. And that's definitely how I felt you treated us and the Atlas Society, and you were probably like, whatever, but you do that with everyone, Terrance, and it's been really cool to see the love. At least I get to see the love. I'm sure you're getting some also not some great messages, but there are plenty of people around the country that have supported We Are Human, and they go out and they will be sometimes doing silly things or just everyday things like floating down a river wearing a We Are Human shirt or trying to do the backflip. That backflip's pretty impressive, Terrence. Not everybody can do that. Talk about advisory settings.
Yeah, I'm still shocked at myself that I can still do the backflips as well. Especially after my car accident a couple years ago, I didn't think that I'll be able to do them again. But I don't know. I just had got this newfound energy ever since, since I've really been pushing positivity and love. Like, I kept it in my life to make a change in my life because I used to have an anger problem. So, in order to change my anger issue, my anger problem that I had to change my mind frame. In order to change the decisions, the choices that I was making, I had to change my mind frame. And in order to do that, I had to stop thinking negative. So I had to think about all positive effects, all positive things. So when a problem arose, I had to think about the positive things that was in the problem, not the negative things that was in that problem. When I was focusing on a solution, it was the positive solutions, not the negative solutions. Yes, when you're hungry, there are solutions that you can go do negatively to get that to eat. But those are negative things that's going to bring that negative energy right back to you. So sometimes you have to go do the positive things, whether you have to go to a shelter and go in to go eat or to a food shelf to go get some food. Do what you have to do positively to keep that positive energy coming back to you.
So, and you did spend some time, you said at some point, I don't know if it was before prison or after prison, that you found yourself on the streets. You didn't have...
Oh, it was before and after. It was before and after prison that I found myself homeless. Just because you change your mind frame or trying to change your life after prison doesn't mean that things get better for you. It just means that things are going to get tough for you, and you have to stay positive through those tough things in order for things to work out for you the right way. So ever since prison, it's been almost 9 years now since I've seen a jail cell. And before those 9 years, I used to see a jail cell probably every other day almost. I used to go on with having like 6, 7 warrants at a time. in different in different cities, different counties I used to have. So like I go to jail in one county, and after I'm done with that county, I have to wait to be transported to the next county, then the next county, then the next county. And, you know, it just got to be too stressful. At first, you know, it didn't bother me that much because I was still a child. I was still young-minded. I wasn't ready to grow up. But when I realized I was ready to grow up and I wasn't ready to lose my life to just doing stupid stuff, and I wanted to live for something more important, I started fixing my mind.
I'm so grateful for that. So we have another question here. People say that, you know, they hear negative things about foster care, and you were in foster care, but you also were essentially, it sounds to me from the live last night, and it was an orphanage, right? I mean, sometimes we're homes, and then sometimes we're
the Northwood Children's Home. Yeah. So like there are negative effects of foster care. Like there are some foster homes that's just in it to collect some money, and or they don't really give the kids the love that they need, or they'll treat their biological children that they have there better than the child that comes in. So there are those type of issues in foster care that do happen, but I don't feel like foster care is all the way around just a horrible thing or a negative thing. You have to think about it. If we don't have foster care, that's going to leave a lot of kids to be out there to just fend for themselves, and who know what type of life they could live, who know what type of chances they would have then. So even with foster care, with me having to end up in foster care, when I look back on things, I realize that I ended up with a better chance to succeed than a lot of people in my family, than a lot of people that I knew personally in my life. I had a better chance to be able to succeed, to be successful than they did. I was able to learn different things than they were able to learn. I was able to see different things than they were able to see. So I had more opportunities. So I just didn't look at it that way. So when you're a child, when you're a teenager, you only think about the things that you want. You only think about the emotional sides of you. You don't think about the long-term things. You don't think about the opportunities that's sitting in front of your face unless you have somebody that's motivating you towards that. But it has to be the right person motivating you towards that. It has to be somebody that you look up to. If it's not somebody you look up to, everybody in the world can motivate you, and it can mean nothing at all.
So tell us a little bit about, we've got another question here, want to hear about your kids, and what are some of the ways in which, you know, you've taken the lessons that you've learned from the past. I mean, I love the videos of you.
I put them first. I put them first at every single thing. So at every turn, I put them first. Even when I was homeless with my son, if I only had $2 to eat, that $2 went on my son. I didn't take a bite to eat, nothing. First, always.
And now you play Beethoven for the kids, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I play, when my kids are born, I play Beethoven for them. I play Beethoven for them, Mozart. I like to play classical music. It'll unlock their mind. And, you know, a lot of people, they'll just play rap music, stuff like that, or whatever type of music. And I don't know what that type of music do to a child, but I know that Beethoven and classical music will help them more than hurt them. And I know that other music could poison them and poison their mind. So I play Beethoven for my kids. I try to do the best for them. I try to be the person for them that I wanted in my life growing up. So I've always wanted somebody there with me growing up the whole step of the way. And I want to be that person for them. So every decision that I make sure it's the right decision for them as well. So I don't make decisions for myself. If I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna go do something, I'm gonna say, well, is that a good decision for my kids? If I'm gonna go somewhere, is that a good decision for my kids? I don't think about it about myself. To me, I barely think about me. Even when I'm spreading love and unity for everybody, I barely think about me. I'll be on live for 3-4 hours in pain and won't complain anything and just keep on smiling like there's nothing wrong. But
I know I'm on some of these with you, and I'm like, well, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to collapse. But then I'm like, well, who am I to tell him, you know, he should go rest? I mean, he's got his, you know, he's in charge of his own life. But I do worry about you sometimes because you just keep going. But it's been also really inspiring. So you know, your lives are totally impromptu. The kids are, you know, in and out, and things going on, and then sometimes, you know, usually not, but sometimes people can get under, a couple times get under your skin, and then you've gotten angry or whatever. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, oh my God, if that was me, I would never, I don't know, I just would like hide under the covers. But you know, whether it's a day later, a couple of days later, you're back, and you're just like, okay, whatever, that was that, and now we're moving on, we're moving ahead. So that's just been super, super awesome.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to show people that you're human too. So like, you know, I don't want people to think that I'm just a supernatural being, that, you know, negativity ever doesn't affect me, because it does. You know what I mean? We all have a point to, whereas no matter what, no matter how, unless you really gain inner peace. So I know there are people that just won't let people disturb them at all. I mean, me, I'm just still working on it and everything. So like, you know, I don't worry about showing people my true self. So sometimes, like, you get emotionally evolved. Sometimes people get under your skin. It's a human thing. It's a human thing. So I look at it as if, can't nobody judge me. Everybody didn't got upset at a point in time. So, you know, at least like when I get upset, one thing that I stay away from and refrain from is like calling somebody a name or trying to be like super disrespectful to them, to whereas they'll feel some type of way and be like, oh my gosh. No, I don't want them to be like that, but I'll be disturbed to whereas my voice will change. I'll get loud, you know, and get a little bit defensive. Not a little bit, a lot. I'll get a lot defensive. So, you know, that's just the human in me though. You know, that's just the human, and that's just something else that I'm working on to change as well. So I'm trying to get better at that.
Well, and
Too.
then it's just, you know, there's always another day. And that's like one of the big takeaways that I, you know, got from being a part of your community. It was just like, okay, whatever, yesterday was messed up, but like, we just keep going forward. And actually, you know, Peter Diamandis, our honoree at the gala, you know, says it's really just about keep going that extra round, one more round. You know, the winner is the one that just never gives up. And that's something I can say about Terrance. He never gives up. That's something everybody who knows us at the Atlas Society knows. We never give up. And I think that there are some really glorious changes around the corner. So, okay, we have another question here about gratitude. So you mentioned about the Draw My Life that we have. My name is Gratitude. You know, we've got a whole bunch of dozens of other ones. My name is Frederick Douglass. My name is Envy. You know, good things and bad things, telling the story. But what are you most grateful for right now, Terrance? What are some of the things that you just say, oh wow, lucky guy?
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. I mean, anybody, a lot of people that didn't live the life that I didn't live, they might not think that they were still going to be alive. They might not think that their life would have even changed enough to know that they're going to still be able to take another breath. I'm grateful that I have my children. I'm grateful that I have God. I'm grateful that I'm able to do whatever it is that I want to do in life. I have my own mind. I have my own free will. I have my own thoughts. So I'm grateful that I don't let nobody else control me no more, or my emotions, or my decisions. So I'm just grateful for being me. I just, you know, there's a long list. I mean, I go on being grateful for a long time because there's a lot of things that I'm grateful for. But like, you know, the main things that we always have to remember is we got to be grateful that we can wake up in the morning. Because every day that we wake up, there's about around the world, there's 2 to probably 10,000 people that did not wake up that day every single day.
Well, that's so true, and especially now with the lockdowns that have caused such enormous economic dislocation, enormous hunger, enormous crushing poverty, that and we're just very lucky, fortunate. I mean, we talk about privilege. We're privileged to live in the United States, and you know, that's I think also, it's not like from our perspective, like in objectivism, it's spiritual, but it's not, you know, religious. And Ayn Rand was an atheist, and we are firmly in sort of a metaphysics of reality and epistemology of reason, you know, as opposed to mysticism. But I think with gratitude, we are about being empowered. You know, we are about going out there, making a difference, getting things accomplished in this world. And when you sink into this lack of gratitude, you just sort of, you know, you just feel less able to navigate through life. And when you say, you know, okay, maybe things could be better, but I'm going to plant my 2 feet on gratitude, you just gather your strength to say, you know, I can do this. I got this. You know, I can actually make a change. Where do you experience I mean, like the Atlas Society's message, you know, can be pretty controversial. We're not shrinking violets, and we know that even within, you know, objectivism, there's a lot of people that are just, whatever, it's not for them. And I look at your message, which just strikes me as like, how could anybody be against what this man is promoting? And yet you've got, you know, you almost have your TikTok bodyguards, right? You've got the people that help you, and that they are help to just, you know, block out the hatred when it comes onto your page. What is the negativity? Like, what do people not like about, you know, that when you get the pushback? What is it? And well, I know you're open to, like, you know, hearing different points of view. So a lot of times there'll be a comment that comes up, and I'm thinking, whoa, you know, that one, one of his bodyguards is gonna, you know, quash that. But you're like, no, hold on. I want to talk to that person. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the way that the hatred comes. Like, if the hatred comes in a form where I feel like, hey, a rebuttal would just cause more of a negative reaction, then I'll just, you know, they'll remove them out. But I'll say, hold on, if I think that that's the person that I might be able to reach. So, you know, if I feel like they're being negative, but I feel like I'm able to reach them with a different teaching that they might not have heard before, then I continue forward. And a lot of times I'm able to reach that person to where they're able to change that up. And I don't know. I forgot your second part of the question.
Well, yeah, no, my questions are way too long, but I was saying, like, what do people get upset about? Like, are they don't like your politics? You know, they don't like, is it politics part, or is it that, like, you have to be Black Lives Matter? They don't like that you're, you know, saying,
I think people feel like I'm just out for likes, just out for views, just for people to pay attention to what We Are Human is, get more views. And I mean, I really can't fault them for feeling like that. I really can't fault them, because there are a lot of pages that are out there that are like that, that's just searching for views. And sometimes you'll catch them, well, a lot of times you'll catch them contradicting themselves, and or, like, you know, doing something against what they're trying to show everybody else, or they'll try to do videos that'll keep a divide between people. So I think that people don't like the fact that I try to stay as even as possible, rather than choosing a side. So I never like to choose a side. I try to stay as even as possible, and I never try to point the blame at anybody else. I always try to, you know, if I'm gonna point the blame at somebody, it's always gonna be towards myself, then rather than point the blame at everybody else, because we're all a part of the issue in one way, shape, or form. And I just think people think that I'm out for views. So that's why I tell people, look, let's get off of this internet, let's get off of the social media, and let's get out there in the world. When you out there in the world, those views don't matter on the internet. Those views don't matter. Social medias don't matter, anything like that. They can shut the social media down, and I would want everybody to still meet me outside at the barbecues, because the views don't mean anything. I mean, yes, you need the views to be able to reach people, of course. So who's not going to want to attempt to reach those people? But I think we have to get through our minds that not everybody is out for personal gain. Like, yes, I mean, of course, I want something to come out of this, meaning I want everything to turn out better for everybody. So I don't want something to turn out for myself. I want it to turn out for everybody. Every change that I'm trying to make is for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, so I mean, it's interesting what you mentioned, because I always learn something with Terrance. So I would have thought, oh, people didn't like, that where you stand on presidential election, or I thought, oh, people wouldn't like where you stand on BLM. But what you're saying to me almost really kind of comes from a more of a philosophical space that, when Ayn Rand talks about envy, she describes it in a different way. She doesn't describe it as just wanting what other people have, or feeling, that they have more than you. But she talked about envy as the hatred of the good for being good. And it's almost as if, what a very trivial thing to say, to you, like, you want likes. You're like, yeah, I'm spreading the message. I'm trying to actually get people to listen. So what, duh. But that, while I like watch you and I listen to you, and I'm like, I could be a little bit more like him. I could not feel so sorry for myself. So I'm like, seriously, I could just keep trudging forward, like on a hard day. I could just reach out and make friends and be more positive. And I'm like, that's what I see when I watch you. But I can see that if somebody's coming from a darker place or a place of envy, that they could like really dislike you because they are not able to do what you're doing, right? I mean, I'm not able to do what you're doing, but that makes me like want to be closer to you, and learn more about you and see what I can learn from you, But I could see that there could be people that would just be like, oh, he can do something I can't do, so let me tear him down, So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there are those people that do that, but I don't feel like I've ran into many of people that's been more envious. I think like I ran into more people that was more like you, that was like, hey, I want to be more like him. I want to try to imply that in my life. I want to try to apply that to my life. But the only difference is when, everybody that's been supporting, a lot of people have said they want to apply these things in their life, but they continue indulging in all of the negative things and keep indulging into the narrative. And it keeps their mind from being able to actually focus on the change and to focus on to do it. I mean, yes, there probably is a few people that's envious of my page, but they really don't say anything to me. It'd be more of the people that's sometimes, yes, if I go against somebody's political view, well, I really don't go against people's political views. But like if I say my political view, like if I say, hey, I feel like Trump's the best candidate this year to vote for, even though I'm not a Trump supporter, but I feel like he's the best candidate this year to vote for. Some people will clap back like, oh, you must be a COON. I don't know if I could say the word. I don't want it to get blocked, anything like that, but we all can spell. But, I get called things like that every now and again. I just have to block that person out and just be like, hey, well, that's another person that just want to spread hatred, and they don't even know they spreading hatred. They're too busy being upset that they're not able to see somebody else's point of view. Like, if somebody comes to me and they say, hey, I'm voting Biden, I'm gonna say, hey, cool, bro, how you doing today, though? And we're gonna talk about something else. I don't like, yeah. So
we're gonna talk about apple butter. That's what we're gonna talk about.
Oh man, yes. And Mel said she had some apple butter before when I went upstairs, and I was like, oh, don't talk to me for the rest of the night. Everybody's got to enjoy some apple butter but me.
Well, so I know you guys on Zoom and eventually on Facebook don't know what we're talking about, but you need to go and get yourself on TikTok, follow Terrance on Instagram, get yourself to the Atlas Society Gala. You're going to have a chance to meet Terrance in person. But also, I know the gala is super expensive, but Terrance has a discount code, right?
Yes, the We Are Human promo code to get you 30% off. So if you use We Are Humans promo code, you'll get you 30% off, and you'll get a chance to meet me. And I love meeting people, and I know people would love to get a chance to sit down and talk with me or walk around, chat with me for a little bit. I know I'd love to get a chance to talk with all of you guys and meet you in person, take some photos with you.
That's going to be so awesome. My parents are, boy, they feel like they know you already. They're coming down. Speaking of people that I'm the only non-liberal Democrat in my family. So you know how much I love my parents and love my family. And if we can get along, certainly we can all get along if we have, different preferences on different, presidential candidates or whatever. There's so much more in life. And most of it we don't even know yet. So don't sell yourself short. Also, please check out the event section of our site to learn about the barbecue. And yeah, we just put it in the comments there. And the barbecue is going to be on the Thursday, the 15th. Terrance again he's always just I get on the phone with him and he just blow my mind constantly. So I was saying, oh, now well, what park? And I don't know if they've got the parks closed. And he's like, well, here's one park. This is Exposition Park. And I said, yeah, are there any reviews? He's like, yeah, there's a review from a couple of days ago. It's great. It says, hi, I came to this park with my grandkids and there were so many homeless people, I'll never go back again. And I said, oh. And he's like, that's great. So definitely if they allow homeless people there, then they'll allow us. I'm like, okay, I hadn't thought of it that way, but I guess you got a point. And why not? We can bring the We Are Human message. We're going to bring out society, and we're going to make it happen. And by the way, everybody, also just another reason to follow Terrance. So, I've been in lockdown with my parents forever. But and my mother, who knows me better than anybody, would just say, if she asked, like, what is one thing that's wrong with your daughter that she needs to make a change, she would say, you don't have enough fun. I want you just to have fun. You need fun. It is important. I'm like, I don't need fun. And she's like, no, you need fun. If you have fun, will help you do a better job. I'm like, well, okay, well then maybe I need some fun. And we have fun on Terrance's live stream. It's just silly stuff. It's like apple butter. It's like, what's your favorite cartoon? I mean, it's
strawberry jelly or grape jelly, and
we get our inside jokes going, but at the same time, we really get to meet people, and we remember why we're coming together to watch Terrance. It's not just because he's adorable and he's just an amazing speaker, but that he has really very important message that we are all human, and we need to treat each other as individuals and try to go forward on a positive step. Let's have less distrust, less fear, less isolation, and come together, and you never know what can happen. So apologies for this is the first Facebook not live that we've done, but Terrance, if you want to do an Instagram live with me or whatever, on the Out Society page, we'll do it. But I know you're a busy guy, and so this guy.
it's up to you. I mean, if you guys wanted to do an interview with me, I wouldn't mind. Whenever you guys wanted to, I'll be up for it, and I could just slide it into my schedule for you guys, and we can do it, because I know you guys are out to make a difference as well.
Well, do you sleep?
Yeah, I get some sleep. I think I get the amount of time of sleep that God tells me I need to get, because I think I don't know. Sometimes I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then sometimes I find some information that be like, oh wow, this is the reason why I woke up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know, I have all of this energy, and I feel like it's been given to me for a reason, so I might as well use it. There's no sense of trying to go to bed at nighttime with a lot of energy stored inside of you, so I got to use it some way.
All right, well, we will do that then. We've got a big Instagram. We're going to get this up on Facebook, and we're going to get this Instagram live, and I've got my shirt, yay, which is coming, and so I'll make sure to wear it to our Instagram live. And I love you, Terrance. I'm very grateful to you. I'm in your debt, and I can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to see Mel, and I know I'll see you later on, because you'll be going live. So
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, take care.